Y'all, I have a confession to make. My content has gotten so boring. So boring. And I'm not even gonna make an excuse of anything other than the fact that I've just been so stretched and in a season of so many things going on personally, business, projects, family, life, moving, like so many things going on that when it came to creation, I was like, yeah, I just need a rinse and repeat model that is so low effort. But I miss me. I miss a spark. And so I want to talk about that today. And I want to walk you guys through what I'm doing to fall back in love with my content and get this spark alive again and this energy and this zap. And I know a lot of you are going to benefit from this because it's okay to fall out of love with it. But you also are a woman and you have life force energy and creating things and demonstrating things and doing things that are innovative and putting yourself out there. Like, it is such a stretch and it is so fun when you can finally catch yourself in this, because honestly, the front end of your business is your marketing. And for me, the thing that I love the most on the planet is content creation. It is like this timestamp in life that you can go back to again and again, and it is this expression and it is this way of connection. Like, it's not even just about, oh, this is conversion and it makes me sales, although that's nice. What I truly love about content, it's your art. It is your intellectual property. And instead of doing regurgitating bullshit postured things, if you can actually create stuff, and the way I like to think about content is like, if my son, say I passed away, and if my son only had these pieces and these nuggets of wisdom, would he understand life a little bit more? Would he get value? Would he understand my life journey, my wisdom? Would he be able to create things? Would he be able to be innovative and stuff? Would he be able to feel the energy and the life force in that? That's what I want. And if I'm being honest right now, that's not what I'm getting. I mean, over the last few, like 2 weeks or so, sure, but like when I started this whole auditing and looking at my content, no, I realized I was just kind of going through the motions and trying to, oh gosh, we're going to get so honest in this, but I first have to say hi. For the new people tuning in here, I'm so excited that you're here. Come hang out over on my Instagram. My Instagram is @ITS Laura Patricia Martin. It's my favorite thing in the entire freaking planet when you guys actually pop into my DMs. Like, it makes me so fucking happy because I can see the download and I can see the people that are subscribing, and I can see which, by the way, make sure you subscribe because that does freaking wonders. And we have new episodes every single Monday, but I digress. It makes me so happy because now I get to see and connect with you guys and hear what you're doing and taking away and all that kind of stuff. So it's the best thing in my life. So make sure you guys are doing that. But I'm gonna spill some tea. You guys are new here. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna go deep on our first date, which is great. And if you guys are OGs, what's up? We've already been doing this. You guys know how it goes. So when I'm looking at content and when I'm looking at that flow, that interjection there was not smooth by any means. My ADD brain is like going. But when I'm looking at content and I'm looking at my content, I can see this thing happening. And this thing being that I'm currently in one of the biggest up levels of my entire career. And there's a version of me that wants to come through. There's this next edge of woman. There's also this next level of leadership. There's this next move in my business that's a little bit scary. There's this next way I want to represent myself. And all of this stuff kind of coming into the picture. And instead of me dialing in on my energy, I was looking externally, as we do. What's my next inspiration? What's my next move? How can I get expanders into my orbit so I can jump into this? And then what happens is you start to not necessarily be your most authentic expression, although in the moment of you doing it, it does feel like the most authentic expression, which is the confusing part of any of this. And so what I've been shifting inside of my own brand is, one, blinders on. Always blinders on. Although we want to get expanded, we want inspiration, we want to know what's going in the marketplace. You are your own marketplace. And when you can see, hey, I'm just gonna test, and that's the season I'm in right now, is I really am taking my brand in this really fun direction, this really, I'm just playing with different avenues of making more money and Coaching to me, I love it so much, but there's different things I want to do, and there's different things I want to expand into. And especially as a mom, I want to have even more income with less hours and maximizing this. And so I'm just like playing around and fucking around with different things, plus like creating stuff to help moms and busy human beings on this planet to do the same thing. And so I'm just like playing with these different models, right? And I realize in the process of that, like, oh, I'm trying to become this person versus I like crave authenticity. I crave the realness. I crave the truth. I crave the storytelling. I crave the behind the scenes. I crave the like feeling like you're FaceTiming a best friend versus this like, oh, I have to be a woman. I have to act like this, which is what I thought if I want to jump to this next income bracket, I have to act and be this type of way. You have to be serious and you have to talk this way and you have to do these things. And this is the way the wealthy are. And it's like, yes, there are ways that wealthy are, but there's also a lot of people, like more people that are wealthy that you have no fucking clue that they're even wealthy because of how they act and how they present themselves and how they're so fucking normal. And like, that's more my vibe. And so I want to walk you through, after all of these awarenesses I'm having and looking at this stuff, and I know I can't be the only one, and I know a lot of you guys have a very similar situation that you're navigating where you're like, you feel this potency. Actually, a client asked me this the other day, where it's like this potency that you have when you're in person and people just gravitating towards you and being obsessed with your work. And like when you're in the vicinity of them and it's in person, they're like, oh my God, I can't get enough of you. And you're like, why is that not translating online? And so that's what this episode is for. And that's what I want to talk about, because I've been navigating this and I want to talk about what I've been doing to make it, not that I don't love my content, but there's that like blip where it's like, oh my God, this is kind of fucking stale. This kind of looks like every other coaching content. It kind of looks like the story slides and the way people are selling, like it all looks the fucking same. And I don't know about you, but I'm fucking over it. I'm so over it. And so here's what I noticed is that when we're on this brink of becoming a new identity and jumping into a new income bracket, we can't be so hard on trying to be an authority that you forget connection. When you're jumping and you're trying to quantum leap, you have to remember the heartbeat of it. You have to remember that you, yes, wanting to say mature, right? Like that's a huge feeling my clients have where it's just like, I want to have more mature content. I want to have something that's more sophisticated. I want to have more regal. I want to have it more luxurious. I want to jump into this next thing. Yes. But that doesn't negate the human behind it, and people want to connect with people. We're in a huge founder era of people wanting to be part of the story with you, of the building process with you. And so when you can take people along this story with you, you're going to fucking crush it. And that's what I realized in my own brand is I wasn't taking people with me. I was being in this like, I'm a mom, yay, buy for me, versus what am I currently on the edge of? And so you're going to see this a lot in my content too, of like how I'm opening up these different pathways and doing these different things and creating different content styles and creating different literal tools and programming and things like that for moms to help them make income. Like you're going to see me sharing more of that stuff because that to me is way more interesting. And I know that is for you guys too, other you guys who wouldn't be listening to podcasts like that. So instead of you trying to be an authority and trying to be this bitch that has it all figured out, it's this, yes, you're a strong expert in this one arena, but there's plenty of other things that you can bring people along with and like talk to people like they're humans, and like there's different levels of communication and connection and things like that. And I don't know about you, but my way of doing things is like FaceTime friend energy. I want you to feel like we're just sitting down shooting the shit right now. And knowing that connection is always going to be your greatest asset for your brand, for your content creation. It's always going to be the thing that does the most versus your pretty themes and the way that you're trying to like position yourself and all this kind of stuff. If you can be a human, that's going to take you so much further, longer, because people pay for people. People want to be included in something. They want to fall in love with the founder. And so that's the thing that I'm bringing into my brand. The second one is noticing when you're playing safe in content is the same thing as playing safe in business. So if you're trying to hide behind like prompts or trends or things like that, which are important, right? Like you should be following a certain way to speak. You should be following certain trends to get out there. Like the algorithm likes certain things, but you gotta like go big. You gotta have this type of like, this is gonna fucking work kind of energy, not this, I'm so at capacity and I have no energy left to give, so I'm just gonna throw something up. And then you throw something up, but you're expecting a huge payout or something to go viral. And it's like, how much effort did you put into that piece of art? Right? Content to me is art. It is this staple. It is this thing that, if you're not here one day, this is the last thing left on the planet that's going to distill this knowledge of humans you care about. Like, this is the thing that's going to be left. It's your intellectual property. It's so important. And so if you're yes, some days you might just throw stuff up, but like most days, if you can figure out a way to have this creative outlet that also doesn't take you a massive amount of time, but keeps your heartbeat alive and still gives you maximum result because there's intentionality and there's heartbeat and it's centered around your life and it's creative and it's an outlet. Oh my God. Wow. That just becomes way more interesting. That's something I want to pay attention to. And so when you're just going through the motions, expect the emotions are the only thing that's going to be given back to you. If you're having this problem, like I realized in my content, I used to get so many views and so many likes, and then there's certain themes and certain stuff that gets a lot more traction, a lot more things. I'm like, why is this happening? Because there's a lot of content that was going through the motions, and the ones that got a lot of traction, a lot of heart, and a lot of not just like likes, like I could give two fucks about likes. I give way more fucks around shares and like what are they called? Reshares, whatever that is, or sharing, or people that save it. Like I care more about that because that's where I can see there's value provided. And so obviously the ones that you put more heartbeat into, more value, like it's a mini masterclass inside of it. You're showing up, you're talking on camera, you're not just motivating people, but you're actually providing value. You're understanding how to actually speak to people in a way that gets them moving. That shit. Like, it's not small to do that. We forget that marketing your business and content for your business, it's the most important part of your business. It's the only way people find you. Yes, if you have millions upon millions upon millions of dollars coming in, okay. Even then, do you want to know where most of their money goes? Content. And so it's understanding that I get it, that you're at capacity, that you have projects going on, that there's all these things going on. But if you're looking at your page right now and you're like, I'm happy with it, but like I also know I'm playing safe, then you need to check that. Because if you're looking for maximum reward by putting minimum effort into something, that's just insane. That's like going to the gym one time and being like, why isn't my ass doing its thing? It's like, baby, you just got here. This is a month's work of effort to put in. And so then the third thing that I was looking at and what I'm doing to really move from having a boring brand into something that I'm like, holy shit, this is lighting up my soul, and like this is the funnest thing ever to show up to, is how can you, right? So when we're looking at, hey, I need to be an authority in a particular field, I need to be known for this thing, which is very important, yes. But I don't believe in like the box of one niche, as you guys can probably tell from my content. I like to have multiple things, and there's certain things and there's certain stuff. In order to keep the heartbeat alive, you don't really niche down, but you do have like pillars, right? You have content pillars. So when you can sit down and you can think about what actually would bring me joy to yap about, to write about, to create carousels about. Like, it's not this forced energy. It's things that you're already having conversations about in your life. It's things that you study. It's things that you live, eat, breathe. Because when these are the content pillars, it is now so much easier to show up and create from them. And still you can create from a lens of this, right? So I can still talk about motherhood and pull that into content. I can still talk about systems and still pull that into content. I can still pull in relationships and pull that into content. Like all of this hot mom, hot business, these are things I'm interested in. These are things I read books on. These are things I'm listening to podcasts on. These are things I'm reading about. Like this arena, it can all tie in, and I can bring and provide value for these things while I work to become this mega genius in the content market for moms. Like, this is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm striving for. This is what I'm starting at ground zero about. It's just like, this is my area. And so I'm looking at how do I do that by keeping my heartbeat alive? Because let me know if you relate to this. If I have to pick one fucking thing to talk about, I definitely want to rebel against it. Like, I want to burn it to the ground. I'm like, I'm so much more multifaceted. But if I go too wide ADHD, then people are coming and being like, I don't know what you do. And like, that's not what I want. I want people to walk up and my name is associated with the bitches that want to be hot moms. They're like, I want to get so rich and I want to be hot. Like, yeah, Laura Patricia Martin does that for you. Have you seen her page? That's what needs to be exuding from my page. That's what I'm so excited to create, because the why underneath that, the heartbeat underneath that, is when moms are happy and they're rich and they have their own money. Oh my God. The children, which is ultimately the only thing I fucking care about, because it's the next generation. That's the thing. It's not about creating the generational wealth. It's like, how do I support the mamas? Because the mamas be the ones that are impacting the next generation. Yes, save your money for the later, but like the now is the time. And so I'm like gassed about doing this and really looking at, okay, so I'm not just going to talk about brand. I'm not just going to talk about messaging, because that didn't feel good. That was something that I can see just like, oh, I'm going through the motions. I'm very bored. And yes, business is boring, but like there is still this aliveness, this richness, this play, this fun, this heart, this creativity that like I want to bring back alongside like the storytelling and the behind the scenes and different things like that I'm just bringing back. Like, I just miss being a girl. I miss creating. I don't want to be so in my authority that I lose the heart anymore. And there was a season, because I was so tired, but like that season is fucking over. And it needs to be over for you too, because let's go, bitches. We're getting hotter, we're getting richer, and that's how it fucking goes. And so the next thing that I'm walking through is breaking the rules. This is the thing where it's like, you're only growing if you look back at your old content and you're like, yeah, that's fucking stupid. Or you look back at like programs that you're like, this is either fucking banging or like I actually go against this. And a lot of the things that I am looking at now is like, I'm actually going to break my own rules. I'm going to experiment again. In the beginning of when you started a business before you had ever made any money, and you're like, I will literally try anything and everything. And it's not chaotic, but it's just this like art and this play and this, just like breaking the rules. That's where I'm at, where it's like, yes, I get it. You can posture in this way and it works. You can speak in this way and it works. You can write in this way and it works. You can do carousels in this way and it works. You can decorate things in this way and it works. All of it fucking works. But you have to find the thing that like it works for you in this season. And so for me, I'm loving like the Yap style sit down chats like this. I'm loving the little chic little carousels with like hardly any words on them. I fucking love that shit. Like I'm looking at what I consume and what I like to save, and I'm like, oh my God, this gets me. This makes me feel the way. This activates me. It's very minimal. It's very creative. It's very mysterious. On top of someone showing me their characters, someone showing me like their day. They're like, here's a day in a life, and I'm like, oh my God, cool day. Like, show me your closet again. These are the things I'm in love with. So I'm bringing that to my brand. And before, those are not my rules. My rules are very different. And I'm like, oh, I want to be known for this one way of doing content. And I want to show my life in this way. And I want to do these types of things. And it's just letting content breathe and be multifaceted, multi-passionate, and really building a name for myself. I realized because I was flowing around and doing these types of things, it wasn't really stabilized. And so I've had to sit with like, what is hot mom? What is hot business? What does that mean? How do I want to represent that? Like, can I find little avenues of what that means to me and creative sparks? And that's where that goes. So it's kind of breaking the rules in order to find your aliveness again. And then you find your own set of rules, because you go through life and you try all these different things of like, stuff. You're like, I'm going to test all these things. And the problem is they all work or none of them work. And you get to a certain stage of your success where you're like, great, I know what to do. Now, how do I want to figure out how to do this in my way and still make it work? Because that's the only way you're going to stay committed in this, the long haul. That's like the stages of development. It's like the beginning stages, you're so fucking naive and you don't really know what direction you're going in. And so you try all these things. And then you get to a level, one works, so you stuck with it. And then you're like, yeah, but like I'm itching and now I want to find my own way and do things. I want to take my people with me and I want to create a new way. And that's where you find your aliveness again. Because something I read in one of my mentors' books, shout out to Shoshana Raven, in the Limit Does Not Exist book. It's so good, guys. You should read it. But she says, you can't fuck up your art. And I love that quote. I love it so much. And you can't fuck up your art. And I think that's kind of what's been like birthing through this lately in this content stuff of just like, oh my God, everyone looks the same. Everyone sounds the same because we don't want to fuck it up. And it's like, you literally can't fuck this up. Like, you can't. You just have to own. And this is why when I'm talking about influential codes, you have to own what you're really fucking good at. You have to own who you are. Who you are when you walk into a room and you know who you are and you know what your power is, that alone is influential. You don't have to fucking say anything. People just want to talk to you. People just want to sit closer to you. People just want to be associated with you. People just want to pay attention. Like, everyone's watching and listening, and they may not even tell you about it. They just are. That's what happens when someone understands their natural influence. It doesn't come from a 5-step fucking formula. Formulas like that are for people that don't know their own leadership, that don't know their own power, that don't know who the fuck they are. And when you want to elevate above that and you want to call in new people and you want to demonstrate to new people, it's not a 5-step fucking formula. It's you standing in your power, speaking your truth, demonstrating it, because you're not second guessing yourself. You're not trying to posture to be powerful. You just fucking are. And that could be from you singing in your robe in the fucking kitchen, or that could be from you with a media team and set up performances and you having this whole like creative direction and movie theater stuff, because that's your natural expression. But if you're trying to do that because you're trying to get something, that's not how this works. It's sitting here going, how can I give? Because this is what I'm powerful in, and this is what I have influence in, and this is what I'm really fucking good at. I don't have to prove it to you. I'm just going to do it. And in that, people will follow. All of that is to say, I keep looking down and looking at my notes because I'm like, I want to stay on topic. My ADD, it's 10 p.m. at night while I'm recording this. And so this is what I mean when I'm saying hot content, hot business, hot moms. Like, I'm really, really in this season right now of just exposing everything, of dismantling everything, of being honest with myself about everything, of really rebuilding. This to me is going to be the biggest year, not even just financially, like that's just going to be a byproduct, but I really feel that right now there's a lot of exposing and a lot of testing and a lot of stretching and a lot of stuff that takes time and energy, right? But all of this is happening because of the setup of this year and the things that are coming and the things that are birthing and the things that are growing. And I'm just here for the assignment. And in order to be able to do that, you have to allow things to be exposed, and you have to be willing to audit, and you have to be willing to shift and change. And so, may I regret admitting these things to you guys? Maybe. Probably fucking not, because this is going to benefit you guys. And you should be doing this with yourself all the fucking time, is looking at being honest and going, okay, my next level requires whatever it is. Am I doing this properly? Would this be up to the standard? If I were to view this through the lens of the person that's already achieved the things I want to do, $500,000, how would she view all this? It'd be a hard fucking no. It'd be a hard no. It'd be, I'm bored and I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Great. Here's what we're going to do next. Because remember, you are currently living the story that you are going to be telling. And so if you're doing this thing and you're trying so hard and you're doing the formulas and you're just like banging your head, yes, there's hard season, but is that the story you want to tell? Do you want to look back and you're like, this was just so boring and I did the same things and I never evolved and I never changed and I just kept doing the same things on repeat, expecting a different result and like half-assing this stuff and expecting a big reward? No. I don't know about you, but when I think of hot mom, hot business, that bitch goes to her edges. Like, she is a fucking psychopath. She feels everything. She demonstrates everything. She creates because she can't fuck up her art. And she's building. Like, for me, I want to build my business the way I want to be in my business. And sometimes we wobble in that because we lose our identity a bit. And then you come back in and you're like, wait, no, this is my fucking rodeo. Here's how I want to do it. And so you get to pave your own way. That's this whole masterclass of a podcast right now. You get to pave your own freaking way. And, you know, that's when you know you're doing it. You know, if you're stuck in this, I need someone's 5-step formula. I need someone to show me how this is. I need a template. I need a plug and play. I need this because I don't have time. You're not in the right arena. You're not in your leadership. The way content creation is supposed to feel is your life is the context. Your life is the content. You should be living this all out, that your life is a thing that you are coming in and you're like, every single day I have something to teach you on for the thing that I'm known for, because this is the thing that I eat, breathe, sleep. That's what you need to start to do, and give yourself the life force energy, and like really look at, like, is your content boring or is your life boring? Do you need to go live a little bit? Like I've been doing this last weekend, and recognizing, oh my God, this is the block. This is the thing. This is what I want to document. Here's the stories that I want to tell you. Here's all the things that I've been kind of doing lazy. Here's all the things that I want to go fucking psycho with. There we go. Now we have a direction. Now we have an energy. Now we have life force. Now we have aliveness. Break your own fucking rules, and then put things in motion. Energy in motion stays in motion. If you feel stagnant, if you feel bored, what is not in motion? Go and do that. Stop copying people and expecting their results. They were the ones that put it in motion. That's why they have the results that they have. It's the whole fucking thing with the coaching industry. A good fucking coach, a good person, doesn't give you a goddamn template. A good fucking coach shows you your way, highlights your way, shows you you can't fuck up your art. Your way is the most genius thing on the planet. And so these are all the things that I'm doing inside of my content to spice it up, because we are going to the fucking moon. I need to put numbers in place. I need to like broadcast what numbers I want, other than I want to make $500,000 this year cash. There's going to be like numbers on my Instagram or something with my content that I want to do. I got to think about it, but I'll get back to you guys on it. But I want to hear from you guys what your stuff is. If you want to put in the comments what your goals for your social media is, your content, how you're feeling about it, and your biggest takeaways from this episode, come hang out over on my Instagram. It's @ITS Laura Patricia Martin, and like flirt with me in the DMs, because I want to hear what you're doing. And like, we can all listen to podcasts, but like, what are you actually doing with this? What are you actually doing with this? That's what matters most. So come hang out over on there. And it'll mean the world to me if you give us that 5-star review and share this with a friend. And make sure you subscribe, because we have new episodes every single Monday. Okay, my loves, I love you so much. And I will see you somewhere on the internet.